Yes, Dr. Lillian Ochai joins us, resident doctor at LUTH, PR Association of Public Health Physicians of Nigeria, Lagos branch. Dr. Ochai, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to have you. We want to talk about self-care.
Right.
See, there's a lot of things happening around that you sometimes forget about yourself. So you're busy with work, with family, a lot of other things, and then you forget that, hey, I matter as well.
Yeah.
So let me just channel a lot of Nigerians through myself and tell you that, doctor, I feel stressed. I've not been caring for myself as I ought to. What should I do? Because I need to have that mental and physical well-being to be able to deliver.
Right.
So doctor, how do we go about this?
Okay, thank you very much for that. Before I answer that, I would just like to say what self-care is. So it's basically an individual's ability to promote health, to prevent disease, maintain health, prevent disease, and also the ability to cope with illnesses or disabilities if they are present without or with the support of a healthcare practitioner. So these are things that we need to do on a daily basis, like habits, things we need to do to help maintain physical, mental, emotional well-being. And just like you said, we face a lot of stress as Nigerians, a lot of things, traffic, we know what happened two Wednesdays back, and try telling those people to practice self-care. They spent the whole day in the traffic, so it's a lot. The insecurities, economic instability, it's a lot. But what we need to know is that we shouldn't see self-care as a luxury. It's something that is essential. It's very important, and as much as we're trying to be productive with work and other activities, if we don't pay attention to taking care of ourselves, we would end up, not being able to manage these activities. We will not be productive enough, because research also shows that people that practice self-care, are more productive, they are more creative, and they're able to manage other things. So basically, there are so many aspects to self-care, right?
What does self-care look like? So I'm picturing now,
right.
Self-care, I head to one eatery and I buy a mala, like 4 goat meats, 6, okay, I won't say pomo now because you get what I mean. That's how a lot of people picture self-care. Or they say, tonight I'm going to the bar, I just want to, drown myself and have a good time. What does self-care really look like? The right kind of self-care, that is. Right.
So, as I was saying, right, there are different aspects to self-care. There's the physical, emotional, mental, there's spiritual, there can even be a financial aspect to it. So basically, but where it starts is knowing what works for you. So there needs to be some self-awareness of your person, who you are, what you like. So things that help you to relax. Fine. You mentioned going to the bar and, drowning yourself in alcohol. That is going to be of adverse effects to your health. So obviously that would not be under practices of self-care. But things like, okay, for instance, if talking, having people around and just conversing with them helps you distress, that could work for you. There are some people that may not want to be in the company of others. They just want to be quiet in quiet space just by themselves. Take some time, to meditate, deep breathing exercises. That could work for some people. And other forms under the physical could be practicing personal hygiene, right? Other forms could be eating well, physical activities, engaging in some form of physical activities, and going to the emotional part, being emotionally aware, also knowing what your triggers are. Okay, if I go to this, will someone trigger me, trying to avoid those things. Spiritually, what your faith is, what you believe in, practicing that, taking time to meditate, to pray, things like that. And financially, having better financial plans. I mean, it's difficult. There's a lot going on, but you can still try as much as you can, okay? And then there's also the social self-care, where you take time to build healthy relationships, try to converse with people, have friends, have gatherings. It's also good to stay in touch, because humans, we need to, be around people, and that helps us to feel like we're part of something. And also just generally having self-reflection, time to breathe, to reflect, to say, okay, how far have I come? Because, as we grow older, a lot happens. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It just keeps going. You experience a loss, you have to keep going. Work happens, school happens, so much is happening at the same time, and you just have to keep going. So we have to take time to pause, to breathe, to reflect, to take time to heal.
At the end, I'm just listening to how interesting what self-care is.
Right.
But juxtapose it with people living in Lagos. It's a crazy situation already in the country. It's doubled in Lagos.
Right.
Depending on where you live and what options you have. Because what the economy does to a lot of lives, which is why we scream most of the time about policy, is that it limits and reduces options. One of the best, most beautiful ways to live life is to have a bit of options. But when your options are that limited, so speak to people that really have limited options. It's not as if they don't know self-care is not important. I know a friend of mine who, where I used to work before, one day just told me, as he collected his salary, he said, I just went to the restaurant and I ate my money. Like, bills on him, all of that. So I don't think Nigerians will not appreciate this self-care issue. Everybody wants to be pampered, but their options are so limited.
Right.
There's literally limited time to breathe and just exhale. So with those kind of situations, what are they missing out in not forcing self-care one way or the other, so that we understand the dangers we're feeling? Perhaps that will inspire a change in attitude.
Okay, thank you for that. So I'll give a scenario, right? Let's take someone that he doesn't know is about to have a stroke, but maybe in some days he's going to have a stroke. But before then, he's, focusing, I need to work, I need money, my children, have to go to school, I need to keep at it because we need to eat and all that. Of course, these things are essential, but because the person is not taking time to rest, this stroke is still waiting ahead for the person, and people could end up dying, and they would not get to enjoy the benefits of all the hard work that they've been doing. So yes, it is important that we need to hustle, because it's ingrained in us already. It's a Lagos life and all that. But because of our health, there are things that are happening that you might not see, or you might, because you feel like you're okay. We don't pay attention to what our body tells us. So sometimes when we're tired, or when a person is getting sick regularly, or you need to pay attention to these things. It means you should try to take time. Like you said, Lagos, it's very difficult. So what I can say is that we can start small, right? Even if it's 5 minutes in a day, just take time. Do what will make you feel rested. If it is just breathing, silence, just talking with someone, reconnecting, anything that makes you feel relaxed or rested, can start small and try to make it consistent from there. Then also learning to say no, because sometimes you are stressed, but just because you want to keep relationships or a work thing, you just want to say yes all the time. But learning to say no, at specific times also can also do a lot of good to people.
There you go. There are different narratives about Lagos.
Right.
But the irony is, it's like people like stress, because people troop into Lagos every blessed day, and they come
for economic reasons.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Is it like people just naturally love to gravitate towards stress? In quote, again, there are people in Lagos who have planned their lives, and their lives do not have that kind of stress because their work is close, and there are organizations that say, you don't have to come to work every time, you don't have to go through traffic. But yes or no, do we like stress as human beings?
Maybe yes and no. I'll say yes and no. So I feel also there's some cultural thing involved in that, because it's kind of like if you're not working hard, like they need to see that you're working hard, then you are not doing anything with your life. And so a lot of people feel like, okay, I need to be here, there, I need to be all over the place, so people can feel like you're doing something. If you're not in people's faces, it's almost like you're not really doing anything. So that's what I feel about
I think we also need to help ourselves and find, if Lagos is not working for you, Ibadan is great, Ogun State is fantastic.
And,
I mean, go up north, Oshogbo, right?
But places don't sound fun. I don't know.
They're actually fun.
They are.
Ondo State, Idonre, you go to some of these breathtaking areas. But we have to thank you so much for reminding us yet again that self-care is important. We'll be speaking with Dr. Lillian Ochai, who's a PRO, Association of Public Health Physicians of Nigeria, Lagos branch, and a resident doctor at LUF. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Well, we hope we've been able to arm you with the right self-care kit so you can take care of yourself. We'll go on a quick break now. When we return, we'll still have politics, we'll take to the skies, and some little more for you, so stay with us.